All right, we are doing 3-3, and I'm going to go pretty fast, but it's not difficult. You need to do the warm-up on your own. And then we are expressing tangent as a positive acute angle. So basically all we have to do is we have to know how to find reference angles, which we learned way back at the beginning of the year. And we need to know where tangent is positive and negative. Those are the only two things you need to do. We just are going to rewrite tangent as a first quadrant angle, basically, so that you rewrite it with your reference angle as opposed to writing it with a larger angle. So when tangent is given to us either as an obtuse angle, so bigger than 90, or an angle that's not in quadrant 1, or a negative angle, again, not in quadrant 1, then we're going to ask to rewrite it as a positive acute angle. So make it a positive angle, like the actual angle that you're finding is positive, and acute, so a first quadrant between 0 and 90. First thing you're going to do is know what quadrant you're in, because you need to know what quadrant you are in to know if tangent's positive or negative. Remember, tangent goes every other, positive, negative, so that's pretty simple to remember. Find your reference angle. So you know how to find reference angles. If you're in quadrant 1, it's theta. Quadrant 2, it is 180 minus theta. Quadrant 3 is theta minus 180, and quadrant 4 is 360 minus theta. All the stuff we've done a lot. And then if you're in quadrant 2 or 4 where tangent's negative, then you're going to put a negative in front of the function, so it'll say like negative tangent of whatever your reference angle is. Okay, so then you rewrite it as the function of your tangent with your reference angle with a negative in front if you need it. So, to express tangent as a positive acute angle. So I wrote all these steps. It's very unnecessary. If you just look, okay, 135, you know 135 is bigger than 90. So that's in quadrant 2, which was the first step. So since we're in quadrant 2, we need to find our reference angle. Quadrant 2, it's 180 minus theta. So 180 minus 135 is 45. So I know I'm going to rewrite this as tangent of 45 because my reference angle is 45. And then the only other thing I need to do is know what quadrant I was originally in, which was 2. Tangent in quadrant 2 is negative, so I need to put a negative in front of my answer. It is that simple. Okay, all these steps make it look more complicated. It's not. So we're in quadrant 2, find our reference angle. We're negative because we're in quadrant 2, so it's negative tangent of 45. And just know that those are the same values. If I find the tangent of 45, it's 1, and then that would make it negative. And then the tangent of 135 is also negative 1. They're equivalent values. We're just rewriting it with an acute angle in the parentheses. Okay, 132, same thing. Bigger than 90, it's in quadrant 2. So you do 180 minus 132, and you get 48. So you're rewriting it as tangent of 48. And since we are originally in quadrant 2 where tangent's negative, you put a negative in front. If we were originally in 1 or 3, you don't need the negative. Okay, so you just have to think about that. So let's look at these. 350. 350 is in quadrant 4, so that's 360 minus theta. So it's 360 minus 350 is 10. So we're rewriting as the tangent of 10 because that's our reference angle. We're in quadrant 4, tangent is negative in 4, so put a negative in front of the tangent. That is it. 201 is in quadrant 3, so that is theta minus 180, so we're going to do 201 minus 180, and you get 21, so we need to rewrite it as the tangent of 21. Tangent's the only thing positive in quadrant 3 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so you do not need the negative in front, so you're done. It's tangent of 201 is the same thing as the tangent of 21, and you're done. 29 pi over 36, if you change it 2 degrees, so you multiply it by 180 over pi, you get 145 degrees. So we're back in quadrant 2, so then you do 180 minus 145, and you get 35. So we're rewriting this as the tangent of 35. We were originally in quadrant 2 because 145 is the second quadrant angle, so yes, you do need the negative in front. And then you're done. Negative 67 is not an obtuse angle, but it is negative. So you know that if it's negative, you dropped down into the fourth quadrant 67 degrees. You still only moved 67 degrees, so that's your reference angle. So it's the same as tangent of regular 67, except you were in the fourth quadrant, and tangent's negative in the fourth, so you need the negative in front of the tangent. But your reference angle, remember, is your distance away from your x-axis, so you only moved 67 degrees, so that reference angle is still 67. Okay? And that's it. You can do these 3 on your own, and then do your worksheet.